Yeah, Sadia Khan. Shout out to her, Sadia Psychology, and as well as Modern Wisdom, I believe. Whatever y'all believe about this woman, it is what it is. Her and I, we've kind of gone back and forth a little bit, honestly, on Instagram. I think she has me blocked currently. And I still got love for her, though. I know she's someone that is very, very, very petty, but I still got love for her. And I do like her mind when it comes to things of relationships. So I don't beef people. People beef me. I don't beef people. She shared my stuff on her story. I guess maybe, someone said that shouldn't happen. And then, next thing I knew, I was blocked. And she was sharing it in a positive way, but I think maybe it was one of her team that said, oh, don't post this. This is what he's actually saying in this, whatever. I don't care. Again, there's a lot of controversy around her right now, particularly, stemming from potential fraudulent behavior, not only with a doctorate or master's or whatever, but also conduct. People have been saying that, there's leaked audios to suggest that she doesn't necessarily live by what she preaches. And I do believe that to a certain extent. Like, the audio is pretty authentic from what I understand and what I've heard. And I've been assessing human beings for a very long time. And I know when people become very defensive, typically they're guilty. Okay. So it is what it is. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I actually really appreciate her insight. So, I want to hear from you guys, though. Like, I know this conversation is going to be pretty interesting. So I want to hear from you guys. We're obviously not going to go through all of it. We're probably just going to do a little bit, and then maybe we'll do like a part 2 or something like that. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts. My name is Jerry with God and Jerry, and I'm your number one go-to for finding a kingdom spouse and solving your relationship problems forever. All right, let's talk about this video, y'all. Let's get into it.
Do you think hot girls are more crazy in your own experience as
I've been around quite a few hot girls, but some of them can be very balanced. But give me your treatise on hot girls being crazy.
Here's what it is with very attractive women. They don't get an insight into the average man and how average men behave. They get an insight into men that are incredibly intimidated by their beauty or incredibly lustful after their beauty. So they see men either kind of ignore them. So the quiet good guys either just kind of intimidated by them, but the loud, gregarious, kind of adulterous men are after them. So they'll see guys that will leave their wives to be with you. They'll see guys that will drop everything to kind of, even if their girlfriend's in the same room, they'll quickly seek you their number. They'll see guys that will risk their jobs, if they're your boss, to be with you. So they see men as these huge risk takers that will do anything to have sex with you. So what ends up happening is she loses her naivety about a man. She no longer thinks men are faithful.
And that's fair. Like, what she's saying is fair. And again, I would say most men, to be honest with you, most men are thirsty when it comes to women, and they don't have self-control when it comes to women. Like, most men in general are very weak. I'll just be honest with you. I love men. I got love for y'all, all my bros. I love women too, obviously, but a lot of us men, I'm just having to say us because I'm not part of that. A lot of men are very weak. So they'll look at a beautiful woman, even like a beautiful woman like Sadia, right? Even though she's married, they'll be lusting and thirsting after her. But she's still very beautiful. She's a beautiful woman, right? She carries herself in a certain way. Obviously, I know in this last year has been a lot of distasteful things, for the public. I don't care either way. I'm not here to like figure out what you're doing in your personal life. I don't freaking care. Again, I'm also doing my best to not judge people outside of this video. It's just what we're listening to here, right? In the context of this video. So, hot girls, I'll be honest with you. I used to be intimidated by very beautiful women, like very hot women. But I think maybe in recent years, I'll probably say in the last like 5 to 10 years, not 5 to 10, like maybe say 10 to 15 years, I've been kind of like, I don't want to say desensitized, but women, I think when you understand that women are just human beings, you stop really putting them on a pedestal. It's the same thing with men. Like, I've had men or women who want to leave their marriages and have to be with me. I've had women leave their relationships or cheat on people to be with me. I'm not saying that I'm proud of that, but that's where I was at the time. And I condoned some of that behavior. But obviously, as like in certain situations I did not know, in certain situations I did know, right? So, but in those cases, I did my best to shut it down. Like I shut it down when I actually found out that they were with somebody or that they were married. I shut it down, right? So, um, the thing is with what she's saying with these hot girls, you're like, oh, well, I see someone that's not really faithful. Like I see all these men that are not faithful. It's your job to shut these things down too, right? So it's understandable that you're going to be jaded because you see all these men do crazy things because they're weak and they have no self-control. For a lot of them, I would say like 90% easily have no self-control when it comes to the area of beautiful women. But like, even in that situation, you have the onus is on you to shut these things down. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of works both ways. If you guys can also hit the like and the subscribe, it's a super free way to support this channel. It's an amazing way to support this channel. And you can think of it as charity, because what happens is YouTube actually sends this video to people who are like you, who actually need this information, who need to understand these things to better their life. So you might not even be able to meet these people in real life, but you're helping these videos get to them and you're changing their life one video at a time. So if you can hit the like and hit the subscribe, we super appreciate you. And again, it's an easy and free way to support this channel. And for those of you who know that you actually want to understand how to get an amazing spouse, I've helped a lot of people do that. Helped a lot of people avoid crazy situations. A lot of people get into great relationships, hundreds now, obviously, over the years. And the reality is, it's just like, if you want to change your life and you want to do something different and you achieve something different, you have to do something different. All of you, virtually all of you, have been in courses for the duration of your life since age 4 or 5. If it hasn't helped you obtain a great relationship by now, obviously, something's wrong somewhere. So you definitely want to click the link in the description to change your life and find a kingdom spouse and become a kingdom spouse as well. And actually get on board with a course that's not in school. That can actually help you to achieve the things that you want to achieve, right? How has it gone so far, right? So if you want to change your life, especially if you're younger, if you want to avoid this nonsense, the younger you are, the easier it is to actually vet when it's time to vet. You know what I'm saying? If you're in your teens and you're watching this particularly, you want to get ahead of this nonsense that you're seeing in our society. It's garbage. It's not a flex to date somebody for the first time, by the way, at 21. It's not a flex to date someone for the first time at 25. Like you're doing that, understanding that you're going to be married by like 28, 29, 30, 35 or beyond, right? That is way too late to start preparing for this kind of stuff. You need to start understanding these things now, especially if you're younger. If you're married, this course will also help you to increase the parameters of your marriage and understand the dynamics there. So let's continue, okay?
She's seen so many men break up whatever they have just to be with you and just to access you. She's seen so many men who break their back just to touch you. So what happens is when her husband now says to her, there's a new colleague at work, her brain is like, well, every colleague at my work has always hit on me. Are you hitting on this girl? Or if her husband says, I'm just going to the gym, she's like, well, whenever I go to the gym, somebody hits on me. What are you doing? So,
and again, that's fair. That's called being jaded. Like you're seeing a bunch of nefarious and garbage behavior from people who are showing that side to you. So of course you're going to be jaded. I think for me, because I've been around thousands and thousands of women in my life, I think there is a point where you do get jaded, but then there's a point you get to where it's like you just stop expecting things from people and you have them prove themselves, right? So you give them the benefit of the doubt. Like I've seen enough great people and I've seen enough terrible people to recognize that it's not fair to immediately judge someone off the bat. But I'm very quick at determining if somebody is solid or not. Very, very quick. And I talk about these things in the course as well. But like when you're jaded, it's because you don't have enough discernment in your mind to recognize a good thing when you see it, and you don't have enough discernment in your mind to recognize a bad thing. Because if you can't recognize a good thing, there's no way you can recognize a bad thing effectively. You're going to always be swapping those things because you don't have discernment. So it's very important that you actually understand these things, particularly before getting into a dating situation. Because then you're always going to be like this woman that's like, yo, what are you doing at the gym? Or this man, like just super insecure with women. You don't know where your girl's going to be at. You don't know what's going to happen here, what's going to happen there. You're very insecure. Because number one, you don't trust her. which means also you don't trust yourself because you've done you believe in your mind you haven't done a good enough job to vet this type of person that you're with. So for me, I never really have to think about, oh, what's my girl gonna do? Because I understand, like I try to assess people at least ideally 6 to 12 months before I date them. But like you can understand the baseline of a person even sooner than that. So you're gonna know by God's grace, especially if there's transparency with devices and stuff like that, you're gonna know what's really the character of this person. It boils down to that, right? Again, how can two walk together unless they agree? There has to be some kind of a mutual thing happening between y'all when it comes to communication, when it comes to how you're carrying yourself. And this is very important. So let's continue.
They end up being suspicious because they are privy to men at their worst when they're sexually attracted to a woman. They don't have that naivety that a more plain woman would have, where she could walk past a guy in a bikini and he doesn't harass her. She knows if she walks past a guy in a bikini, he drops everything. So she sees men as more dangerous than they are, and therefore she thinks her partner is more sexual than he might be. And as a result, she tends to be more intense and crazy and less naive.
And I talked about this too, right? She said something important. Like if an average woman walked by in a bikini, a man's not going to be like, oh man, that's crazy. They're not going to be like that because they're not attracted to you. So like, it's the same thing when it comes to like this erectile dysfunction debate and all that stuff, where it's like, oh, well, my man won't get up for me, but he watches pornography and gets off to that. It's because he's not attracted to you. There's not erectile dysfunction. Why is it that it's dysfunctional when it's with you, but not dysfunctional when it's pornography or something that he shouldn't be doing? Like, have you put the two together? He's not attracted to you. So those things can be fixed. You can become more attractive to your partner, or he can start changing his mentality and different things like that. But it's not erectile dysfunction if it's working in one place and it's not working in another place. You need to assess what has changed in that circumstance. You are the only thing that has changed. So it's better for people to just accept the truth and understand that if an average woman or an obese woman or someone that's unattractive walks around in a bikini, ain't nobody looking your way. Nobody cares. It's only for attractive people that men become aroused. It just is what it is. It's the same thing with women. Y'all aren't looking at average guys with flags all over their swimming trunks. Oh, that's my guy. Ain't nobody doing that. And I understand women, especially you're probably doing that in a relationship. Like if your man is now starting to let himself go, like women are more akin to liking the person over necessarily what they look like. But men are more physically wired. It's just how we are in our DNA. You can't change that. So you got to figure that out. Anyway, let's go.
But not necessarily more accusatory, I would say.
Yeah, because she uses her experience about the world to predict what everybody else's experience is about the world.
And in her defense, beautiful women are also, it takes a certain level of confidence and a certain level of no fear of rejection to access a beautiful girl. So her pool of men tend to be the men that are more likely to be unfaithful.
Wow, that's interesting. So,
yeah, and again, it's also true, right? She does raise a good point. And I think I'm going to end it with this part because I know there's like a whole, like I might do some more parts later and just figure out where the next good place to be is. But like one thing I've noticed about beautiful women is that they often attract men like if a beautiful woman has a good head on her shoulders, she's not really going to care so much about all the things that men throw at her because she's emotionally based and she's mature. So she's going to go with someone like there might be a little bit of like, can he take care of me? But for the most part, if a woman is actually mature, she's not looking at, can he take care of me? She's looking at, who is this person? Anytime I hear a woman talking about, can he take care of me? Can he provide? I want a provider. I know you're not, number one, I know you're not mentally mature enough to be in a relationship. Because, finances is one of the top, I think it's top 2 now, top 1 or 2 reasons for divorce. So when that man loses that income, you're gone statistically within 1 year. So I know when a woman speaks like that, she's not mentally prepared to be in a relationship. And more than likely, if she enters one, it will fail. Particularly when the man loses his income for the first time, because you're not there for the man, you're there for the income, right? And so, but I do find that when beautiful women, when I do find that beautiful women, they do tend to attract men who obviously have a lot of resources and they want to sponsor their life. But most of the time, those men are not individuals who are going to be faithful to you alone, right? Because they have options. They're paying for you. Like someone, like, here's the thing, understand this, right? Men and women watching this. If a man is sponsoring your life, he's paying for you as like a rug, as like something you buy from a store. You're a commodity. That is what he's actually doing. That's what he sees it as. Some people will be like, oh, no, that's not the case. And if that was really true, then infidelity wouldn't be occurring, right? A lot of these men are not going to be faithful to you because they can just go get another one as well. And the same way they got you, the same way, just like Jesus Christ paid for your life with his blood, this man can pay for your life with his money. And it's the same thing. And you're going to be faithful to him, but he might not be faithful to you. Other situations I've seen is where the woman obviously only likes the man for the money. And then she steps out, which I've been, on the receiving end in terms of like her stepping out on her guy. So like, I've seen all these things, right? So it's just like, some people will be like, oh, well, my man's faithful, my woman's faithful, da 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 da, blah, 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 whatever. What I would say to that is, when everything is good, run through that phone. Because then you're going to find out if someone's actually faithful or not. Run through that phone, check, if you're a man, check the messages with her friends, with her girlfriends. That's where most of this stuff is. Anything that's moving crazy, you might see some stuff with the guys, maybe if she's being unfaithful, but you're for sure going to hear about that with her girls. So that's where you want to start. I know I'm outing y'all ladies. It is what it is. Women, if you want to find out, you got to just run through it. Men are a little bit more reckless than y'all. Men don't necessarily chat about, like, sometimes they'll do it with their friends, but usually it's going to just be with the girl directly. And they're just a little bit more loose. If they are unfaithful, they're more loose in that area. Women tend to hide it a lot better. It's the same thing with cheating. They hide it a lot better, but no cheater is foolproof. I know how to spot a cheater very quickly, very easily, very, very easily. So anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about. Let me know what you guys think, though. I'm actually very curious. Again, I'm curious about what y'all thoughts are on this when it comes to crazy women and just what they're exposed to. And I think it's understandable. I don't know if they're necessarily crazy, but it's just like, yeah, again, like this video talks about, it's maybe more of an insecurity because they've seen, these men do ridiculous things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. And also, if you know that you're somebody that wants to be able to recognize early signs of a relationship that could fail, definitely click this link right here. This video is actually super important. It talks about some, I believe it's 6 to 8 signs or something like that, that you're going to need to understand. These are baseline things you need to understand if you want to see if something's going to work or not. So I love you guys. I'm Jerry with God and Jerry. I'm out. Blessings.